What's going on, people? Welcome to Heavy Hitterville. Trying out a little new name. Again, welcome, Heavy Hitters. If this is your first time, welcome back. If it is not, baby, listen. Let's just go on and get straight into it. It is time to rant, read, and review Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 14, Wreck-It Ralph. So we started with a montage. Typically, this is what we're doing now in the beginning. And we have Brooklyn and Kenya. And Brooklyn is showing her skills that she has acquired through her studies in karate. Mama's going to be a bad little girl. She's intelligent. She's athletic. She's a star. Little bitty Brooklyn is a star, which explains why, as in Kenya sat down with Carlos King, why she explained why her daddy want her to show up in his show now. Yeah, that's right, y'all. Mark apparently is filming a reality show. Check out my other video. Anyway, we move forward, and Marlo and Scott Lee are still doing their FaceTimes with this fake relationship. And she said it's good to see his face. She misses something that he cooks, and I don't know, whatever fake shit they got going on. Also, then we go over to Candy and Blaze, and Candy is teaching Blaze how to brush her teeth on her own, I'm assuming, and Blaze swallows the toothpaste, what typical children do because they haven't fully comprehended the fact that you shouldn't swallow. They're like, oh, this tastes different. This is good. Let's eat it, which is not the case. We move over to Drew. Drew and her sister are hosting a mental health day retreat, which is really, really interesting. What's more interesting is because we're spending a lot of time in these later episodes with Drew, foreshadowing what is happening. I really do believe that production, I don't want to say curated this. They just really picked up that some shit was happening and they began to focus. So that's why these later episodes are 100% heavy Drew and big egghead Ralph with his fine ass. And when you look at it, Drew is talking about her sister and how her mental health really took a toll on her when she was going through her divorce. And Drew drops a little nugget like, while she was also going through her divorce. So we really think that this confessional that she's doing with the carrot top with the white strings probably was done after the show wrapped. And they pull back in to see now that Drew and Ralph were honestly having problems because they're so fake on the show. They probably thought, we hit it long enough. The show is wrapped. Now we can really get on and get away from one another. And all right, Real Housewives of Atlanta executives are like, no, man, baby, come on back. We move over to Sanya. Sanya is talking to her handsome, mild-mannered, very protective husband, Aaron, aka Ross, and he's saying something. She's like, "Did you hear me? He is giving her a rolling, so she's excited, and she should be. That's a beautiful gift to be able to give your wife. They work hard, so they should be able to do those things. They start the conversation about some things that they need to go over because he's been gone. So she's like, "Well, you've been gone, so let's go over this information." She hands him a tablet. He sees the pregnancy result. Those pregnancy test sticks confuse me because again, I'm not a woman. I'm not a female presenting person. I'm not a cis woman. I'm not a woman of trans experience. I'm not a woman who is now transitioned from female to male or who can produce, ovulate, and or have a baby. So again, I'm saying all of these things because I want to lend respect to womanhood, however it may look and whom it may be possessed by. But them damn sticks, don't y'all like urinate on those things? Don't y'all like have to TT and put it up, catch a certain amount of urine so that the test can equivocally say if you're pregnant or not? Like, how do y'all handle those and pass them around, give them as gifts, and they got urine on them? Like, tell me in the comments. Let me lean on in so we can have this conversation. Pause me, please. What's up with the sticks? What do y'all do? In the comments, y'all tell me. Unpause me. Okay, so she is now told Ross he's excited, as Ross is going to show us. Of course, you playing, right? This is for real. He's such a Texas dude. It's crazy. I don't think he's from Texas, but he exhibits Texas behavior. You for real, right? Oh, man, with that no lip, it's absolutely no top lip. Let me stay focused, y'all. Anyway, so they want to tell the family, baby, when I tell you the household of the Rosses, whatever their names are, it wasn't they say Ross, yeah, and Aaron Ross, the Rosses, y'all clearly have purchased a t-shirt making machine because you're going to tell them that you're pregnant because you have pressed the letters on the back of the shirt, and you go through the store, you go through this whatever, and then you're like, yeah, y'all turn around, but the placement is wrong. Ross has on a pregnant shirt, saying he has on a shirt that says "we're," and it should have been "we're pregnant," but it's pregnant we're. So everybody's like, then they're like, ah, and poor mama eyesight must be on zero. Because she is like, what happened? What did I miss? What happened? Girl, your daughter's pregnant. Which is interesting because immediately sister's like, yeah, we're moving. No. You said you wanted us out. This doesn't change because you're pregnant now. Yeah, we found an apartment, and guess what? Mom and daddy gonna stay in the same complex as us. Oops. Be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. They bring down Deuce because Deuce is as energetic as ever. And they explain that they're about to have a baby. He's going to be a big brother. And he's like, well, when? Totally cute. Over to Drew and Ralph. Drew and Ralph are yet again being fake, as they do. I have 3 seasons, and I guarantee you the storylines, the actions, the affection, all of that shit has been fake. And because they are now going through a divorce, it just totally confirms everything myself and others have said about this storyline and how fake this is. Like, Drew should only, well, not, Drew has kind of grown on me. I didn't like the bullshit she did with Candy, but she's kind of grown on me. Yeah, I don't know if I want her to come back, but she's kind of grown on me. Anyway, they're on this fake date, and it's babe, baby, babe. Yeah, in your confessionals, you're shading Ralph, Drew. Fake. Fake, and a liar. So we go through some dumb bull, trying to stop cursing so much now that I'm monetized. Thank y'all so much. We go through some BS where they have this little fake bet, and Drew, creepy ass. I'm sorry, not Drew. Oops. Ralph's creepy ass is like, yeah, if I get it straight, you gotta call me daddy. Oh, girl, I was about to sit here and lie. I get it. I get it. It is something about I get it. I get it, Ralph. Leave that alone. So they're gonna talk about this old fake date, and they're talking about, this thing, you gotta call me daddy if I win. So it is what it is. Well, the conversation starts about how they're both busy, and Drew is like, I got this. Then he says, well, how are you? How are we doing with the marriage counseling? Man, you know the answer to that. You're not going. So how do you think y'all collectively are doing? Poorly, because you are not going. You're supposed to be so intelligent as you later on and tell her that, this is a really intellectual thing that I'm telling you, as if she can't comprehend. Yeah, you asked a stupid ass question about how are you? She's not well because y'all are faking. This whole situation is just fake as hell. Ralph then tells us in conversation with Drew that, he doesn't really like counseling because it's all finger pointing. It's all information about what's wrong, which can lead to them getting divorced. And you were being led down that road regardless of the conversation and marriage counseling. And it just seems like it's a bunch of talking and no work. So that's why he has chosen to stop, and he's not, he is no longer interested. So, it is what it is. And she has still been going. So Ralph takes this time to point out to Drew, you need to respect and appreciate the work I've been doing. And she's like, what work, babe? He's like, well, I've had less blowups. You want to be rewarded for not blowing up on your wife for no reason? Because that's totally what you were doing last year. Well, I'm sorry, the season before and last season. Totally blowing up on Drew for nothing. Now, Drew is irritated. They continue the conversation, and Drew is like, look, I'm going to be like this. I'm not going to baby you. I can't change you. And basically, I don't care if you get upset about it. We then move on, and Drew's like, okay, look, I'm going to be really, really busy, and I'm going to be away for 10 days with the movie that I'm doing for Todd, The Pass. I need you to really step up. He's like, see, that's the problem. We got a problem. She's like, well, what's up? He's like, you're all of a sudden now busy. I've been booked and busy. Now, I want to dig a little deeper because, Drew says she's a consummate entertainer and actor. So, Drew, if your husband is saying that you're now more recently busy, then what you been doing? Because, again, like we asked last week and in many of our questions and our canned peach question, what do you do? $1 million question. with her saying that she's going to be gone, she uses Todd as a reference and something about daddy daycare. He's like, well, I'm not daddy daycare. It is so crazy that, yeah, 10 days is a long time to be without your wife. And if she is the homemaker, no offense with the word, if she is the homemaker or the one who tends to take care of the children more, I slightly see what he's saying, not in the capacity of how he's saying it, but I see what he's saying, like, we got an issue. We need to kind of figure this out together, which is what they should have done when she was talking about the act, taking the movie, trying to figure that out. Well, hopefully they figure it out. He uses some analogy, and then he says he wants to be like the Barack and the Obama. Of course, it was misquoted. You're nothing like Michelle and Barack Obama. At this point, Drew is like, okay, you just forget you have a wife sometimes. Let me get up. We move over to Kenya. Kenya is having a little luncheon and she's hosting Candy and Shamia. We haven't really seen too much of Shamia this season. I guess they needed to be able to give Courtney and Shamia their time as friends of. Again, I threw this out last week and I say, Real Housewives of Atlanta, you're looking for something different. It may work, it may not work. It's nothing wrong with giving it a season. Try a friends of season. Get all the friends of, and then they do something. And then they invite the main cast ladies to it. Send them somewhere for the weekend, like you did Candy's ski trip or Candy's coded nights or whatever, like you're doing with the New York old gals. Give them something. Let's just try something. Let's try something different. Candy asks Kenya, hey girl, what's going on? What's new? She's like, oh girl, I'm building out the salon. So let's look at what the salon was and where it is now, according to Kenya's Instagram. Shamia, ding dong. Like I said, Shamia arrives. She comes in. Apparently, she's never been to Moore Manor. She's really, really impressed. Now, have y'all ever seen Shamia's house though? Let me just give y'all a little taste of Shamia's house. They sit down, they start talking about the menu, some kale, some fruit, whatever she has. It looks good if those are the things that you like to eat. They start having the conversation about about Kenya wanting another baby. Now, mind you, this has been coming up the past couple of seasons. Actually, we started the season off with this conversation when she went to go see her physician, and she was saying, girl, you cannot carry a baby full term in your early 50s, especially with the complications that you had with your pregnancy with little Brooklyn. So, the conversation starts talking about surrogacy. And we now learn that Shamia is using a surrogate, which happened to be Candy's surrogate of little baby Blake. So Shamia is currently using her. And they're just throwing out things, Kenya, if you do, baby, let that, what's her name? Shadia? Let that woman room rest. Let her, she is swing low, sweet chariot. Baby, she is carrying low. I know that cat. Never mind. So Candy is like, who's going to be the baby daddy? And she's like, well, I have the embryos with Mark, and everybody's looking around like, girl, here we go. In the confessionals, they're talking like, oh, whatever. But then I get the fact that you don't want a child with multiple fathers. You don't want that baby daddy syndrome type of thing. Some people just don't really want that. Kenya does say, though, she wonders if she uses a surrogate, would she be jealous of the surrogate? And Candy and Shamia like, girl, basically, when the process happens, you're right there. Immediately you get checked in, it's straight skin to skin. It is just like you have given birth. The baby comes straight on over to you. So there is nothing for you to be concerned about. In conversation, Shamia says, well, what's going on? What's new? What's the tea, girl? What's the dirt? Is Sheree still dating Martell? Girl, so we start the conversation that is going around the nation. The conversation heard around the nation. Martell and this birthday dinner that we don't really know the context to, but apparently it looks like Martell made the invite, but he didn't want to pay for the dinner. So a few people have gone to dinner for Sheree's birthday, apparently very last minute. And when the ticket came, it was like $1,500. And he started, Martell Holt started the conversation allegedly about how we're going to pay for this versus people thinking if he invited them, that it was a birthday dinner that he was throwing on her behalf and he was paying for. So they're laughing and joking. They're laughing and joking because apparently Sanya and Marlo have been reading about how broke that goddamn Martell is with his broke ass. We move over to Sheree. And Sheree, you should be really concerned One, I don't think you should come back next season. I think your 2 seasons were okay. But you brought absolutely nothing but just mess and confusion. You brought nothing. You went and found Martell Holt as a introductory part of your storyline. And why? Just because he's cute eye candy? Because he brought nothing. You brought nothing. The fact that you have a grandbaby, that can really be cute, but you haven't even touched on the difficulty and the problems that you've had with Sheba Sheree. Girl, that should have been your whole storyline this season. Rewriting the wrongs, correcting the website, getting real designs made. Like, boom. Y'all will never guess. Last season, I put on this amazing show. Child, but the hell froze over. Or anything. Your whole storyline should have been based off of correcting the wrong from what happened at the end of last season. You ain't even talked about that. So Sheree Whitfield, you are she ain't got it. Pause me, please. Let me lean in and have this conversation. Because Sheree Whitfield, I'm talking to you with your 7th grade education, allegedly. Because the word is you didn't finish school after you had your baby in the 7th grade, allegedly. Let me let me dumb down the conversation for you just in case, because I don't think you're the most intellectual. Sheree, what you should have been doing this season is working on She by Sheree, literally. Designs, correcting the wrongs, website development, marketing, brand building. That's all you should have been working on this season instead of running around being a mess and being Marlo's tag along. You were OG, girl. Unpause me. Crazy the fact that you have been all up in Marlo's ass and that you chose Martell as your storyline. It should have been straight She by Sheree. It should have been a continuation from how you built up and failed to how you have now righted the wrongs. Did I say that right? How you have corrected and made what ended wrong right. I'm done. She takes the dog to the groomer because apparently Yachty or whatever his name is, groomer is not available. So she takes it to some sort of groomer where they help you shower with the dog. I bet that shit costs an arm and a leg, but you still end up washing your own damn dog. They get some treats. She starts having a conversation, and of course she says some more lies about Martell in her confessional. Oh God, something about Yachty is the perfect partner, and so is Martell. You know, it is so confusing for you to be my man, my man, my man. Have you seen my man? She then says some BS about how she could see a future with this man. We move on over to Candy, more or less Todd. They're about to do the table review for the past. Drew and Candy share this really awkward greeting with one another because, Candy, I ain't talked to this helper since, blah, blah, blah. And Drew is like, oh, I've just been so busy. If I was Candy, I'd be like, yeah, you ready? Not all that. We booked that busy. I'd be like, you ready? Let's go ahead and handle that because I ain't really talking about you ain't talking about nothing. We go into the confessional. They're both talking about what has happened. Candace's like, I'm over it. It's awkward. Drew is like, I haven't gotten an apology. You won't, Drew, because you're a liar and everything about you is fake. We go through the table read. We go through some things. We see the familiars there. We see who the director and the producers are. We see Shamia. We see Manetta. We see Candy, we see Drew, and some other people that are going to be in the play. So there we go. We're back over to Drew as Drew and her family pull up to the beautiful venue for the mental health retreat. It appears that they're in shades of white, creams, beige, and taupe, which I would assume are really, really calm earth tones that they wanted to follow. I like all white functions anyway, even though I don't like white. I like the way that looks on our complexion. They talk about what they're going to be doing for the day. And I actually like the thought of a day mental health retreat. Not some of the programming she had, but some of the ideology behind it. I do like that. I may do that with my heavy hitters. She starts talking about what they're going to be doing. She drops some lies about something with dropping with Drew, which we'll talk about a little bit with Marlo. The ladies start to arrive. Baby Cynthia Bailey is back in the building again. Pause me, please. Baby, bring Cynthia back. Bring Cynthia back in a heightened friend of role where she's pretty much at everything, but not everything on a friend level and not making that much money because she's beautiful. She's getting it started. See, Cynthia understands how it works. Cynthia Bailey, cheeks, big 50 cent, knows she knew the assignment. Mama working on her return, and I don't blame her. Bring Portia back and bring back Cynthia. Cynthia, friend of, Portia full role, get rid of Sanya and get rid of Drew. Yeah, we'll be good. Everybody's pulling up, and Ralph came later. We see Ralph arrive. He's all smiles. Somehow, as he comes in, he and Ralph are side by side, and Drew opts to go hug Ross before hugging her husband. Let's look at it here. Is it just me? But she intentionally went to Ross before Ralph. Like, I don't understand that. And later on, I think Ross thought they had already been there together. Like he came together, so like they came together. So he probably thought it was okay to go in for the hug first. He intentionally embarrasses her and shades her, and he goes around the entire room as she is desperately, "Hey, husband." Hey, oh, he just got y'all didn't come together. Oh no, he just got here. I'm just trying to get a hug from my husband. Baby, he shakes though. Oh God. Because she's so desperate. It is crazy. She goes up, rubs his shoulder, they slightly kiss. He's like, hey. He was like, I was trying to, but you went to, and she ignores him as he's going off. Now that he's not really going off, but he's saying it to her. Of course, he's mic'd so we can hear it. So because she ignores him, he starts talking to other people. Man, I was trying to hug her. She would hug Ross. So you know a man and a man's ego. Pause me, please. Drew, baby. This has been your husband for what, 8 years? You don't know your man? A male ego is very fragile. Sometimes you gotta stroke it, girl. It don't make sense for you to go greet another man before you greeted your husband. That just doesn't make sense, especially if y'all didn't come together. Unpause me, please. Drew goes into her confessional and she's doing more delusional storytelling and trying to just a lie what is happening. She's like, oh, this is just typical. Now, some of it may actually be factual. This is typical when he feels disrespected. He likes to embarrass and just do the most, which he was. But you know, y'all both fake as hell. So y'all are a marriage made in heaven, your own special type of crazy heaven. Drew opens up the mental health retreat, and then her sister comes and tells her story. With that being said, we hear some things about how her mental health was called into play. We learn some new terminology. They go outside and they do what is to resemble a little slightly drop it with Drew routine. While they're doing that, good old Marlo Hampton shades her and she
I dropped it with
says,
Drew once, and that was an epic fail. Let me see if this website bad working. Oh, 404 not found. Lord, it done dropped it. The internet done dropped it again.
well, after this fake little exercise warm up that we do in our crisp cream whites, totes, and beiges, the men and the women split up. The women are going to the meditation room, and the men just go do what they want to do. They stand by the pool, but yet there are other women by the pool, so really just the castmates. Everybody else, girl, y'all go do what y'all want to do. We got to go up here and earn our money. While they're on their way up to the meditation room, the lady says, "Hey, it's socks only. Take your shoes off." Marlo is like, oh, I don't have any socks on. And at the same time, she's hacking. Marlo, whatever health concern you have, girl, get the fix because you've been hacking and coughing up. Girl, get that shit. They start the mental health moment, and the woman is reflecting, having with her eyes closed. We're going around the room, panning across the room. And Sheree is looking like, then she goes into confession and says that, this is what Portugal was like. No, it wasn't. No, it was not, doll baby. Pause me, please. Girl, Portugal was a mess. Y'all talk about Kenya's trips. Girl, Portugal was nothing. There was nothing healing about Portugal. Unpause me, please. So I think Drew and her sister got more done in that 1 day retreat than you got done in those 45 days overseas in Portugal. Girl, shut the hell up. Anyway, Marlo says it smells. The guys are downstairs also having conversations, so we're getting split screens. The guys are talking about what happened with the lawsuit, Maneta's husband, and Drew is explaining, saying that the woman came in with one idea, it didn't work out, so they pitched something else that didn't work as well, and that she was, trying to extort and trying to get other money out of them. In the meditation room, it comes to an end, and Candy is brought to tears because she's really reflecting over all the things that are happening with her and how stressful this is, and how this was really helpful, and that she really needed this moment because, it's a lot going on with Escape. I think the show R&B Super Divas, whatever it was with SW and Escape, it just ended. Then she had from arguing there, the thing with Tasha, then going to argue with these helpers. Like she is just really going through. So she needed a little bit of moment. The ladies sit down in order to have lunch, And this is weird to me. Like, I understand it's really like a cast event and that the husbands and friends are there as fillers, but the ladies sit down to eat lunch, but everybody else is still outside by the pool. Like, what? Why wouldn't y'all do like a luncheon where you have the cast members sitting at the table, but everybody else is still filling the room, sitting out eating? Like, that was odd to me. That was just, why were they there? If that was the case, it was dumb to me. It was really, really dumb to me. Again, so they're having a conversation and they bring back up what happened in Portugal about the lawsuit. And Drew was just saying she didn't feel comfortable to have the conversation there. So Sheree, who loves to talk about money, although she's struggling, allegedly. Well, ain't no alleged. Y'all say that she don't like to pay. Y'all say her name is Sheree. She don't like to pay Whitfield over in those Atlanta streets. Is the one who wants to bring up the conversation about money. Now, she does do it politely. It's not rude or anything of that nature. So we can respect that about Sheree. Drew explains that somehow it went from 1 to 2K. They did the same thing, brought in a cook. It wasn't good. So you can babysit our kids. That didn't work. And then a year later, they were being sued by the young lady. Kenya brings up the fact that she was somewhere booked and busy and she saw Sheree's B-Day dinner. Sheree throws a little jab. Well, you saw it. And Kenya's like, yeah, girl, I was busy. What about the birthday? Come on now. You know how this works, girl. Save the shade. You know how this works. Come on, let's get to it. Let's talk about it. You know this is coming. Let's go on and get to it. So she starts by saying, oh, yeah, I just invited some ladies that I had known for 30 years. Sanya's there. Courtney's there. Cynthia's there. Martell is there. You ain't know none of them more than 5 to 10 years. Now, Cynthia the most, the longest. But those others you just met. Girl, just say I had a birthday and I invited who I wanted. That's basically as a woman in her 50s or an adult should sit there and say, hey, I had a birthday party. I really just invited who I wanted to spend the day with. It was my birthday. Now, see, the way you get caught up and you get caught up in the lies is when you start saying, I'm Sheree. And, I'm from Atlanta. All of Atlanta would have wanted to come. Atlanta shows up for me. Girl, Sheree, if you don't stop the madness, you delusional, uneducated minion. Girl, the nerve. It's crazy what people with money can do regardless of how you got the money. The mentality of people with money is baffling. So Drew and Candy both asked, well, girl, what happened to my invite? We start getting the lies. And she's like, well, Ralph just said that. Girl, first of all, Sheree, I don't care what Ralph just told you because I'm asking you about why didn't I get invited then? Was I available? No. But I'm asking you, why didn't I get an invite? Fuck what Ralph just told you. Candy's like, well, what about, oh, well, Candy, you don't show up for the group. Baby, y'all are so envious, Sheree, that Candy is so busy and that she has multiple engagements and multiple requirements and things that she has to get done, that this is absolutely ridiculous. So let me turn this Beyonce down before I get flagged. It is crazy that y'all keep talking about how she hasn't shown up. I think she missed, according to what we saw, she didn't show up for like 1 or 2 events, but she was there for everything else. That is just asinine to me, how they keep trying to paint this narrative about Candy, girl, they out to get you, girl. They are out. Them helpers are not your friend. I don't care about you saying y'all in a good place. They are out to get you. And girl, I can't wait to see this reunion because I know I'm going to read, rant, and review the hell out a lot of them helpers. Sorry. I'm calling them down. I'm calling them helpers, child. To me, Candy, you seem really, really pressed. And I'm assuming because you really like Sheree and you're under the impression that you and Sheree are really cool. Sheree's not your friend. You seem pressed about not being invited. I would have been told her, girl, okay, well, you don't want to find. I love the fact that Cynthia is back again. But Cynthia says, let me go and get this started. I understand that the group is divided. What's tea? She gets it started and they have to go on into it. So Mayetta starts explaining what the collusion was about. And Candy was like, I had to look that up. And they were trying to get Courtney on their side. And Courtney was fighting to get them to understand that she is on their side. There was collusion happening. There were alliances that were being confirmed that had already started to be formed and built. So Mayetta's like, well, girl, you said all this stuff. And then you called your cousin, my cousin-in-law. Drew, you listening? You listening? Ralph, you listening? Well, Ralph don't care no way. He's checked out anyway. She says, my cousin-in-law. So, okay, here we go. She says, well, you called a big. Now, I don't use. They dropped the footage. You definitely said it. Now, people are a little confused as to why they're pointing the arrow at Sanya. I think it's because they're just saying, hey, this is Sanya. So don't get confused. This is Sanya and the conversation is happening over there. So they're just identifying, in my opinion. Not trying to say that saying actually said it, because why was saying it called somebody a bitch? So she's like, I would never say that. I wouldn't do anything like that. That's not even how I'm made. And then she's like, bitch, I said it. And they're like, girl, you just said it. Yeah, but for the first time. No, baby, that ain't how that works. You said it, just own up to it. This stuff would be so much better on the show if y'all would just own up to it and stand 10 toes down like, yeah, I said it. No, Candy, Andrew, I didn't invite you because really I just wanted these particular people there. Sorry, love you. No, I don't want to go to Portugal. No, I can't go to Mississippi for the event. No, I don't like you. No, I don't want to do this. Now, I know y'all get paid for filming, but if y'all just started standing 10 toes down, it's be a lot better. We go outside as this fake little lunch is ended. Look like y'all just ate salad. Oh, that's all they showed us y'all eating. And they take a group picture, and Sanya runs to the front. She opens her shirt, and it, of course, it says, I'm pregnant. And they snap the picture. She takes it. She airdrops it. She sends it to everybody. Nobody really knows what's going on because she's like, everybody look at the picture. Do you like it? Everybody look. They're not paying her any. Girl, Sanya, girl, these folks never pay you attention. Like, girl, go away. Go away. These folks do not pay you any attention. You just don't belong here. What you bring is cute for we on Zeus YouTube, but this, nah, bravo. Anyway, so they finally realize that she thinks she's pregnant. I believe Akila, which is Kenya's friend, notices that, and everybody's happy. They congratulate the two of them. We then move over, and Drew is in. I'm sorry. Before that, Drew decides to take a dig about it being a social media stunt. Girl, Drew, you're so envious. Is it because Ralph and Sam? Pause me, please. Drew, you so envious, and green is not a good color on you, baby. Is it because Ralph? I'm sorry. Is it because Ross and Sanya actually love one another, and they have a real marriage and a family, a supportive family that really like one another? Unpause me, please. We now get over to, again, back to Drew, because this is very Drew heavy. Drew is having a session with her counselor. I don't forget what his name is, Dr. Keith, Dr. Some, I don't know, child. He might as well be on payroll too, because that man been on there for decades. And that's it, child. I ain't gonna go into no details. She's back in counseling. She's crying and looking stupid with this water wet and wavy half ball. Was it a ball like Didi? It was tight. Child, you know what? That's it, y'all. I tried to get through it. You know, typically I will say I really enjoy episodes and I don't believe in them being boring, but y'all, this one was boring. I got to be honest and I got to go with the masses because typically I would not. But y'all, yeah, this one was boring. It was boring. It was boring. Boots with some okay moments. All right, y'all. Until the next time, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's talk about it in the comments like we do over here in Heavy Hit Reveal. And baby, let's just chop it up. And until the next video, y'all be easy. Be sure to like the video. Please like and comment. It really helps the video. It helps the growth. It helps the algorithm. And check out my other videos. Until the next time, y'all be easy. Peace.